that we don't miss them. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Justus Asasra, and I am a PhD student, and I will talk about that later. And today, I'm basically here to share with you my experience, but also experiences from a few other doctoral researchers that I have met during my training so far. And as you will notice from this map, I've been able to visit some of these countries, which names you see in white background. And I will speak to that on this slide. And so I basically will start with a self-introduction. And from there, I will talk about some of the opportunities for PhD students, but also they will be mixed with some opportunities for master's students and postdocs, although most of the opportunities will really be for PhD students, as I understand that this is mostly a platform for PhD students. And so I'm a doctoral researcher, or call me a PhD student. And my work basically looks at environmental impacts in the context of energy technologies. I will not delve into this work because this is not the main purpose of this presentation. And so I'm doing my PhD at Mbarara University of Science and Technology. And I'm doing this PhD in collaboration with the University of Antwerp under the framework of the UCOBS project, which is an inter-university cooperation project between Mbarara University of Science and Technology and a number of universities in Belgium, in the southern part of Belgium. Currently, I'm also a visiting student at Maseno University in Kenya, under a climate change program called Care for Africa. And it's a mobility program that takes in PhDs and master's students that are doing work on either environment, agriculture, climate change, energy, and many other areas that address climate change in general. Previously, I was a visiting scholar at the University of Calgary, and I've had an opportunity also to visit our home university, of course, Makerere, here in Uganda. And in 2025, I also visited University of Utrecht for a summer school. I think it was for about 2 weeks. And I was able to get a funded conference to attend in Nigeria in the same year. I also subscribe to the Network for Education and Multidisciplinary Research Africa, or called NEMRA. And I know you previously saw this map on my first slide, and you can see a few countries I've been to. And so from this slide, I can conclude that basically the conclusion is particularly for this slide, that international doctoral training opportunities do exist. And this is demonstrated by what I've just explained in the previous slide. And so how do you strategize for these research opportunities, at the doctoral level, or even at the master's level? Online visibility is very, very important, and that you must search for these opportunities. Recently, well, not recently, a few years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, it wasn't really clear where one gets such opportunities. But in the recent past, we have seen the emergence of the LinkedIn, which is a professional network. And I imagine some of you are on this network. And I know some of you have accounts on Google Scholar, others on your personal webs and institutional webs. But most importantly, if you are available online and to these different professional networks, you must make sure that you are active. Take an active role on the online spaces. That's how you will get feeds, for example, from LinkedIn. Follow as many people as possible. They don't necessarily need to be in your field of expertise or in your field of interest, because people will share opportunities as they come across them. I've seen people who share opportunities that are not in line with their fields. And so it is important to follow as many people as possible. But also attend international conferences. Some of these are funded, can be fully funded, can be partially funded. Others could be free, and that maybe you need to transport yourself to the conference. This is a recent picture. I'm not sure if I'm able to, just a minute. Yeah, so this is a recent picture that I took from Makerere when I attended the NEMRA conference that was happening last week. And so these are some of the online spaces that I was talking about. So for example, it would be interesting to know whether you are on LinkedIn, and for example, how many times do you post? Say in a month, you don't have to post frequently or every day. Are you on Google Scholar? Can people search you and follow and see what you are doing? Are people who are able, or people who want to interact with your work, able to find it anywhere? And so from this, I do encourage colleagues who are attending this that at least register yourself and have an active Google Scholar account. And you can see my Google Scholar account. I was just looking for a pointer, but just a minute. I just want to see if I'm able to find. Yes, I get it. Okay, yeah, so here you can see this is my Google Scholar account. Google Scholar allows you to describe your account using like keywords where your research interests are, so that people who want to search for you or look for you will be able to find you. And the other interesting thing that I was wondering about is whether you have a LinkedIn account and what you use it for. And on the same, I would encourage you to follow this page called the Global South Opportunities, which is just one of the images I've just put in this presentation, because this page shares most of the Global South opportunities that are available, either for PhD students, for master's students, for postdoc, conferences, and so on. And finally, on this slide, follow as many institutions or universities or people as much as possible. And in conclusion on this slide, opportunities will not find you. You have to find them wherever they are. So on the next slides, I'm going to share some of the opportunities that may be currently open for PhD students. Some are for postdocs, and some are for both PhD and master's students. I got to know about this opportunity on MOCRA project. I found this opportunity on the 31st of July recently, so that's why I've said recent ones or recent opportunities. And you can see the universities that are involved in the MOCRA project, including Bustema, Chambogo, I think this is Strathmore University, University of Twente, and I think this is Stellenbosch University, one of the universities in South Africa. And so you can see the focus for this opportunity. And what I should mention is that it is an intra-Africa academic mobility scheme. And these kinds of projects allow students to go for a short period of time, either as a visiting student, but if their research interests are in climate and energy, digital technologies, critical raw materials, agri-food, and climate energy. And don't worry, I will share some of these slides where I have highlighted the opportunities so that you can follow them up later, so you don't have to write anything. I also share another opportunity, which is 6 fully funded positions in Global House. And these positions will be at a university called Tübingen in Germany. And like I said, these are recent opportunities. There is also another opportunity here for sustainable mining and critical minerals in mining and metallurgical engineering at University of Nevada. I've also shared another opportunity, which is on empowering youth organizations. Some of you might pick interest, and you can see Uganda is one of the eligible countries. And most of these opportunities, you will always see a link or an email where you can reach out to whoever is responsible or could revert back to you, or where you can actually see details on the eligibility criteria, and I will talk about this later in the presentation. The other opportunity is the East African Regional Capacity Building Training Workshop on strengthening science and diplomacy for sustainable development. And this is a 4-day workshop that will be taking place in Maseno University, where I'm currently hosted in Kisumu. And you can see who should apply, workshop highlights, and about the workshop. And you can see the QR code, but also the Google form that one can fill to make their application. And this opportunity, I also saw it on the 31st. Then there's also this opportunity call for applications on the Healthy Africa Foundation on numeracy scholarship opportunities. If there are some mathematicians on this platform or mathematicians who may be listening in, this would be an opportunity for you. And it will support up to 5 PhD students. And unfortunately, the application deadline is in the next 2 days. I was just checking my calendar to be sure. The other opportunity that is open that could be of interest to undergrads, masters, but also PhD students is the East African Community Student Mobility Scheme, which is funded by the East African Community, and who is eligible as long as you live within the partner states, or you are a citizen of the partner states of the East African Community. And we know these countries, which include Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, DRC, and South Sudan. And I have provided a link, and I show how many scholarships are available: 197, only 1 for diploma, 95 for undergrad, 90 for masters, and there are 11 PhD opportunities. And what I remember when I read about this call is that the call is open to all disciplines. The other opportunity is between a partnership between Makerere University and Mountains of the Moon University. And this opportunity is for PhD students, but also MPH students. And one of the project is the LITRA project, which is like the third bullet on the screen. And then the other one, I may not really remember the name of the project, but it is between Makerere Mountains of the Moon and Hogent. And you can check this opportunity later. And what I know is that the applications are still open, although I missed to include the deadline for this presentation. There are other opportunities, and these are credit-seeking mobility programs, or call them visiting fellowships. Can be for a period of 6 months, can be a period of 9 months, or 1 year, sometimes not longer than a year. I know there is a current call for the mainstream project, which is run by these 7 institutions that you can see on the screen. And I have included the link that you can check and follow later. I'm not sure if I included the deadline for this, but I know the deadline could be before end of this month. And I mentioned that this is similar to the program that is supporting my current fellowship at Maseno University. And I will later share how to apply for such opportunities. And they are one of the easiest opportunities to apply for. Yes, I think I included the deadline. The deadline is actually here, 22nd of August. So in the next something like 15 or 16 days, if you'd be interested, you would need to submit your application. There is also an opportunity open for Ugandans, Rwandans, Ethiopians, Malawians, and Zimbabweans to study at Manchester University. And I will share this in part of my presentation that students can check and follow up. The other opportunity is on this slide. This is also, and you can see there are 10 scholarships that will be selected and paired, but these are going to be in teams. And then there's also another opportunity here for short-term credit-seeking program, similar to what I explained on the 2 of the slides previously on credit-seeking or mobility programs. These links will be available to you in the presentation that you can check them. There is also another opportunity, and I think this one is a PhD opportunity in optimization of sustainable agro-food supply chain under climate risks. And this is at the University of Wageningen. Of course, that's how the Germans will pronounce the word, but you and I will say it is Wageningen, okay? And you can check this opportunity, and I don't think I've provided the link, but you can see the link on how to apply, and you can simply type this on your browser, and you should be able to get it. So this second one is the grant and scholarship, but basically what is currently open is a publication or conference attendance, and this is a grant mobility to support students who are doing PhDs or programs in, it's called PASET, and I think it includes science, engineering, and technology, as you can see here, and that you are free to apply for this grant, and the deadline is 31st of August. And so what you probably need to apply for this grant is that you ideally have to have a paper that you're going to present at a conference. And the grant is for doctoral students. We probably know about the Chevening scholarship. It is also open for those that may be interested. What I know is that it supports master's and PhD students. And I have provided the link in the slides. So here I've put on this screen 3 opportunities. One of them is a conference. The first one here is called Conservation Students Conference on Conservation Science that will take place in March next year and April at the University of Cambridge. And I understood that this conference is going to be partially funded, and you can check the details on this link, and you'll see if you are eligible, and you can see the different disciplines that would qualify to apply for this conference. The other one is the NIH Fogarty-supported research training programs. I know Sam is on this call if he hasn't dropped off, since I cannot see the members, and I'm sure Sam knows about this opportunity. And then there's another opportunity for a 6-month assignment or fellowship with with the World Bank through the Africa Fellowship Program. And this opportunity is also still open. I don't know how I missed to include, the deadline is there, 25th of August. And so all these opportunities on this screen are still open until end of this month or next month. I've also highlighted other 3 opportunities on this slide, one closing on the 17th, and this is for a PhD student in international relations research under the Watershed program. You can check the link and even contact the responsible person to know more details. This opportunity is actually at the Makere AI Center or AI Lab. And I imagine my colleague Wilson might know better, but it's for master's students, and it focuses on these areas: AI in health, natural language processing, AI in agriculture monitoring, and AI in environment. And it's open for students admitted and registered at Makerere University. And so I will talk about some of these eligibility criteria later in terms of how do you find opportunities and spare your time or spend your time on opportunities that you actually are eligible for. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense for someone registered at Mara University to make an application for this opportunity, because you will never get it, but you have put a lot of time in preparing your application. There is also another PhD opportunity, PhD and master's opportunity, and this is going to be a spring school organized at the University of Harare, and the SIGA climate security team at the Alliance of Biodiversity International and SIAT. And so you can check on the link later and see whether this is something that is worth your time. And I got this opportunity, or I got these 3 opportunities today as my LinkedIn feeds. Yes, the last, I think this is the last opportunity that I'll be sharing about, is a postdoc opportunity at University of Cambridge. And you can see that the fields are in arts, humanities, and social sciences, and that it begins October next year and it's a 4 years opportunity. And who can apply is that you either should be a postgraduate student or postdoc researcher who will either be in the final year of research or not more than more advanced than 1 year since the first submission of their PhD. So this opportunity is for postdoc, but it literally requires that students who are in their advanced stages of completing their PhDs apply. And you'll notice that the opportunity closes on the 30th of September, and it opened yesterday. And I have provided the link for this opportunity. So from my experience, as I earlier mentioned on my very first slide, I talked about the conference I attended in Nigeria. I think I will check and find the link and include it in my presentation. Although the deadline might have passed because the conference is going to take place in next month. And usually, if you're applying for a grant for this conference, you need to have your paper, you need to submit your abstract followed by the paper, and then they are screened and then you're communicated to. The other one is the Transformative Research Summer School that I attended in the Netherlands. But for this, you will need to pay for your flight and visa processing fees. And so it is literally a partially funded summer school. And you only get funding if you are coming from the Global House and you're a PhD student or an early postdoc. Like I mentioned on my very first, I think, second slide of my introduction, I talked about credit-seeking mobility programs, and these are quite easy to apply for, and I will share some highlights on my next slide. There are also opportunities for exchange in Canada under the Study in Canada Scholarship Program. The deadline is usually between February and March, but you must go through an institution. An institution must support your application. And so if you are looking forward to apply for the next Study in Canada Scholarship Program, you can always do so. And so here I've shared one of my motivation letters for my current fellowship at Maseno University. And usually I should say there is nothing so special with writing your motivation or application statement. And of course, this is like always out of how creative you are and how able you are to link your research, for example, to the project themes, to the long-term project intended outputs and impacts, but also how you see the collaboration continuing beyond the duration of your mobility or the duration of your visiting fellowship. And so for this, I may not share, but I just shared here that you can have a look on how, for example, you need to structure your application or motivation statement, and that you must convince the professors or the doctors or the leads of the program that you are actually the best candidate that they are looking for, and that should be read and should cut through your entire application. If that will not be the case, then you will definitely not get the opportunity. I know you may not read the entire part of it. So I move to the next example of my successful application statement, and this was for a summer school in Makerere. And the summer school took place in August last year. And you can also see that I literally almost follow the same structure Okay, replace a few words here and there, remove some explanation because it may not be necessary, and include explanation that is necessary for that particular application. One would call this creativity in academia because there will be no template to tell you how to structure your motivation or application statement. But like I previously mentioned, let everyone believe that you are the right candidate to be granted, for example, this summer school or the conference grant or a credit mobility program or fellowship. What you might notice on my application is that I try to link my application at least to one or two or more than two sustainable development goals. And you know that these goals go up to 2030, and that one would be interested in seeing how does your research fit into the sustainability component as regards to these different goals. I think I repeated this slide, and so I will just skip it. And on this slide, I give basically tips. And the first tip is that submit your application before the deadline. This is a must, and this one you must do it. If you have invested time in looking for an opportunity, you got it, you want to apply, you have committed your time, written your motivation statement, looked for recommendation letters, submitted whatever other required information has been asked from you, there is no way you should miss the deadline. Otherwise, you have wasted your time. Otherwise, you should have used your time to write one paragraph of your PhD thesis or a manuscript or your proposal or reading one paper. And so it is recommended that you submit your application at least a day or 2 days earlier. There are some applications or there are some opportunities that will tell you submit at least a week before the deadline because there is always a lot of traffic on the application page, depending on the format or the platform where the applications are being made. But also with my experience, I've found that there are opportunities that will open up, and after like 7 days of opening up, they tell you we have got so many applicants, and so the opportunity has been closed. So it is even better to apply as early as possible. The second most important tip is that read the eligibility criteria carefully so that you don't waste your time on the application which you don't meet its criteria. Quite often, you will get an opportunity, read, and after reading, you realize that you actually do not qualify for this opportunity. That even if you submitted the best application, your chances are less than 15% to get it. The other tip is that be sure that when you are given an opportunity, you will take it. Quite often, you get an opportunity and then you apply, you are successful, and after the interview, they tell you have got this opportunity. It's say a 5 or 6 month or 1 year fellowship, and then you tell them, no, I can only take only 3 months, or I cannot take it anymore. It is always better to communicate before they communicate to you that you have been given an opportunity, that in case you are given an opportunity, you confirm that you will not take it. And so it is prudent that when you apply and get an opportunity, you must commit that you will take up the opportunity. And sometimes I always indicate this in my application or motivation statement that I will be available to take up this opportunity as a matter of emphasizing that I am interested. The other one is that be sure that you will afford part of the contribution that you may be required to make. For example, I talked about the partially funded conferences and summer schools. They might say you have to cover your flight costs or your visa processing costs. And so if you are applying, also be sure that you will find funding to cover part of these uncovered costs by a fellowship or a program or a workshop or a summer school. The last tip is that invest time in making your application. Most importantly, seek guidance from mentors or someone who has a previous application experience. Quite often you will submit your application and you get rejections and you wonder why. But there could be someone in your cycles who could actually help you review your application before you submit it. Could be a mentor, could be a peer, but could be someone who, for example, has previously applied for this opportunity and he or she, they made it. I come to the end of my presentation and I thank you for listening to me, and I acknowledge sponsors of my PhD program. Of course, I have literally used part of the time that I should be using to do my work, to make this presentation and share my experience with you, colleagues. And I appreciate you for listening, and I hope you find these opportunities and insights interesting for you. Before I conclude, Wilson, you know you have something that we agreed upon that you should be or you should prepare, and I hope you'll share the link or something so that members could give their feedback or their input. I thank you for listening, and I'm happy to interact with you any further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justus.
Back to you, Wilson.
Oh yes, just I think members, can we give a virtual hand clap? Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Justus. Let's welcome questions. If there is really, I think this was amazing, and I think I wish when I was still doing my PhD, I wish someone shared these opportunities with me. Probably I would have learned a thing or two. But that's why this platform is here, to make sure that we share our journey with you, to support you along the journey. And you never know. I believe just as we will share these slides. And those of you that are not,
I will share the slides with you, Wilson.
Yes, yes, and we will share them. Those of you that have joined and you're not on the WhatsApp group, just as we apologize, but I think this is one of the highest attended bi-weekly seminar series, and given that they are in-house sessions, especially for our doctoral students on the forum, I think this is amazing. Thank you so much. So let's say I've shared the link for.
You're welcome, Wilson.
Yeah. So want to take your opinions, you can so please you can check out the last form. The others, the first one was about the I will talk about them later, but this is the forum Justus asked me. Sorry, the link Justus asked me to share.
Okay,
Let's have some questions. We still have like 8 minutes to the top of the hour.
Yeah, sure.
If there are no people, some of you have questions, I think you can unmute or you can raise your hand and then you can ask Justus your questions. Yes, I believe there is a lot that we've learned. Yeah. Anyone who wants to say something to Justus? Any question? Any puzzle? Yeah. Okay, great.
So when there is no question, it means that people have understood everything and that they are going to act.
That's very true. That means that yes. But just as I just want to ask you one question.
Yes, sure.
Um, what how easy, how many has it been a bed of roses, especially with these conferences? Has it been a bed of roses? Have you had some rejections? What was your experience? Something like
Okay. Quite an interesting question, Wilson. It hasn't actually been a bed of roses. Uh, I just noticed from the attendance list, there is one of the students who is taking her mobility at the same university where I'm hosted in Kenya. And quite often we have been sharing our experiences. And you realize that, for example, if you will apply for uh, 10 opportunities, chances are high that you will get maybe 3 of them. That could actually be the maximum. But it's also possible that you will apply for 10 and you will get none, and they are all rejections. Although sometimes it's not really a complete rejection, sometimes at least you are invited for an interview, and they also openly tell you how many people applied and how many people were invited for the interview and how many people were taken in finally. What I remember for the summer school that I attended in the Netherlands, the organizers mentioned that they received about 150 applications, and they needed to select only, how many were we? About 35 or even less. And so you can imagine that it is not really a bed of roses. It means that there are those hidden things that will be transpiring, but you don't know. For you, Wilson and I, you will make an application that we are applying for a conference grant or a travel grant or a credit seeking mobility. So you already know yourself that you have applied. You don't know Samuel has applied. You don't know that Aaron has applied. And you don't know that any other person, Richard or Paul, has also applied. And you are in a competition altogether. But in the end, you either get your luck or you actually don't get it. And that's why I should emphasize that you don't have to just make one application and say, yes, I've done it, I've made it, let me wait. I should also share a similar experience. When I applied for the credit seeking mobility that I'm currently taking in Kenya, I also applied for, I think I showed it to you in one of the slides. Uh, just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, I showed it to you. I think it is. It should be on the. Yeah, yeah, it is on this slide. I also applied for the mainstream because it was like I said, it is a similar mobility program that like I'm currently taking. So these 7 universities have like a consortium, and they are running a project funded by the European Union. The same applies to the project Care for Africa that I also talked about. And I think the coordinating institution is this German institution that you see as number 7. And the coordinating institution, another coordinating institution in Africa is this number 5, University of Free State. And then there are different universities in Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Ethiopia. And so I applied for these 2 opportunities, but interestingly, I was only lucky to get one of them. But what I should also mention is that I know I have many other applications, which of course I made, and they were not successful. I try to keep track of my applications, and I know I have a very big folder on fellowships and mobility programs. And hopefully when I finish my PhD, I can use the folder to write a story from this bit of experience in terms of what I've been able to get and what I've been able to miss, and maybe at what stage did I miss out for some of these opportunities. I hope this bit of explanation gives an overview, to answer the question that Wilson asked me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Justus. I think that's a very important thing. And I think as we conclude, I think rejection is not bad. I think what you talk about is
yes, Wilson, I want to agree with you that rejection is not bad. Because every time I've got my application rejected, I go back to the eligibility criteria to read again and assess my chances of what chances did I have to get this opportunity. And when you read the eligibility criteria, you sometimes realize that you have like over 80 chances of getting this opportunity. And then sometimes you look at an opportunity and you realize that you don't even have 25 chances of getting this opportunity. And then sometimes you don't have to apply for it. But sometimes you assess and you're like between 45 and 60 or 45 and 55. And then sometimes you have to take a decision if you have time. Secondly, if you feel like this is what for you trying, but in the end, there is always something that you will learn from it. Because sometimes I have seen myself try to add some of the applications that have previously been rejected, and I get my next opportunity. Thank
you. Thank you so much, Justus. And I think that's really amazing. And members, this is why this platform is here. We believe that Africa will be liberated by Africans. I don't know all of you, I know very few of you, but this platform is here for all of us. And Justus, I want to thank you for creating time, for sharing with us your opportunities. And we are so excited, and we know Justus has presented on this forum, and I think I believe by the time he started presenting, because he has presented at many conferences, and I think this has exposed him. I was comparing myself, like during my PhD, some of these opportunities were very scarce. You don't know, you've never presented your work at an international conference, even the local conferences, and then even defending becomes a problem. It is a challenge but the more these opportunities give us exposure. So I want to encourage us, please, those of you, some of you and majority of you, we understand that probably are not funded, you're self-funded, except maybe those in Uganda, because that's what I mean. Some of them are really self-funded and it's very expensive. But that is not lost. You begin from where you are, submit for these conferences, try to look out, be on the hunt, be on the lookout. As Justice has said, create those profiles on LinkedIn. Don't be too smart. LinkedIn
Yeah.
is very good for at least for professionals. Those of you that are not on social media, we want to please go on LinkedIn. There are many opportunities that you get, and we believe that we can ourselves. So these avenues, we want to thank you, those of you that have joined us for the very first time. This is the African Health Informatics Research Institute. Part of our work is the African Digital Health Doctoral Researchers Forum, where we do this bi-weekly seminar series, and we invite speakers like Justus to share with us their experiences. We still have many. We'll do things about, let's say, qualitative data analysis, quantitative. We'll invite biostatisticians to come and, to teach you. We don't earn anything from this, but we believe that supporting you at the end of it all, it is very amazing. So as I conclude, just as thank you so much. Please feel
You're welcome, Wilson.
yeah, there is a form that we have put there. This recording will be made available. We will share the slides for those of you that so that you can refer to these opportunities. And then, last but not the least, we will have a doctoral forum this month on 25th. We will have some of us here on the platform that will be presenting their work, and it is always amazing. This will be our sixth forum. And then lastly, also, let me just flash back those of you that were not here. Yes, we have our last our 3MT competitions. This is like the goal. I think we'll also have another talk to explain more about this. This is just like an opportunity for you to be mentored or be coached. How do you present your work? How do you write a script? How do you master? How can you present? Let's say you got an opportunity with Elon Musk in an elevator, and you're a PhD student. You're looking for funding, and you know that he can, how can you pitch your idea in those 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and this person will give you money? So the goal of this is to enhance your research, communication, and public presentation skills, elevate the visibility of your doctoral work. When your work will be, of course, you will record, we will take you through, of course, when you apply and you're shortlisted, we will take you through the 1 week or a few days of, teaching you so that you can do the best. You're not, yeah, and don't fear, don't worry about, where you have reached. No, we invite everyone. Come present. Aaron, my boss, Aaron, I want to see you. Please come, and there is something that you learn. So I want to encourage us, and then yeah. So please, let us attend. It's not, you don't have to worry about whether you're good at speaking, whether you have the results. Come and present your proposal. Come and present your thesis. Those of you that have come and present, we are going to have a session with you, and then it will be one way of it is one of the digital health activities. So I am going to. I've already shared the link so in the chat, yeah, but for emphasis, I'm going to share it one more time. And then those of you that Richard, send on. I don't know why the email address I think you registered with had. I think it keeps on bouncing. But I will try. If you can share your, because I think there are some key things probably yeah, because you had said that you wanted to register to be part of this, of the forum. Please, you can send us. You can write an email again, or you can send to my inbox, and then so that we send to get that message. Sorry. And then those of you that want to present on the forum, we have also have a WhatsApp group, and we have pasted this in the you can visit the chat in the link, and then so that you keep getting this information. And then if you want to present your work on the forum, you can register. We only consider people that have registered via the forum because we have many. We want you to register. Then, last but not the least, let's fill that this short data. This will help us this information will help us to look for ways of how probably we can present our case. We believe with time we are trying to look out for ways of how we can write for funding and also provide maybe fellowships and support somehow, somewhere. Yeah, so we believe there is a lot that can be done. So you can feel that information. So thank you so much without waiting any longer. Thank you so much, Justus, for this time. I want to thank everyone that always make attend this. I believe there is a lot that can be done. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye bye. See you very soon. Okay, Richard, thank you so much. This has been received. We will share. We will keep sharing. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, have a good night, everyone. It was nice chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Good night to you, Derek.
Thank you so much. All right.